Hey everyone, my name is David Rao and I'm the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find my ideas on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and a variety of other places when you search for my name, David Rao, or Make Moments Matter Music Education. So, sorry I'm getting started a little late. It's been already an interesting week. But I'm excited today to be sharing some lesson ideas and things that you can adapt, ways that you can adapt lessons that maybe you already have for your classroom now in the COVID world. So a couple quick things. If you want to find, if I say, oh, this book or this resource or whatever, if I mention that and you're like, well, I want to find that, I do have a page on my blog, makemomentsmatter.org, under the video tab where you can find all the links and resources I talked about in this video tonight. And you can find that if you're on Instagram, if you're watching by clicking my link in profile, it should be one of the options there, or Facebook if you're watching at the caption, at the bottom of the caption for this video is a direct link to that links page. Also, if you want to continue the conversation after this live video ends, or if you have a great question that you are watching 2 days later, whatever, you can't get into the live conversation, go ahead to join my Facebook group, Every Moment Matters Music Education Community, and ask your question. People have been asking really cool questions, great questions, and we've had some awesome conversations there. It's a way to continue that conversation so you don't feel like an island as a music teacher. It's too easy to feel that way. So if you want, find our group, Every Moment Matters Music Education Community. Cool. Okay, so I have a lot of things I want to share tonight, and lots of ideas of things that maybe ways that you can take lessons you've already created and adapt them for a COVID-19 teaching situation. So let me just remind you, my very first week of doing these Musical Monday videos, 3 weeks ago, I guess, I shared with you my goals for the year. And those goals are, well, or reminders for the year, things that are in my head. The first one is, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not break. So try and be as flexible as possible. Try and be willing to change or adapt. I know so many of you who are already back with students are like, yeah, we're trying to do that. But the more that you go into the mindset of flexibility, the more you will be able to handle whatever comes your way. Because probably a lot of things are going to come your way. Another sort of mantra I took from the world of improv is yes and. And so if someone says, hey, I know we're just so stressed, could you maybe integrate into your lessons something about the shapes? Because we're really trying to reinforce it and we're just not being able to do it the normal way. Yes, I would love to do that, and I'm going to make it a musical way to do that, or I'm going to find another way, And so, yes, and what can you add to the conversation? Can you help out with the westward expansion? Yes, and guess what? Because the state song is "Home on the Range," so we'll do that. We'll do a little lesson. Maybe you can give me some of your materials. We'll make it work. The last one is give yourself grace, because we all need a little grace, and it's really easy to feel down on yourself or feel like you're not doing it right. Guess what? We are all first-year teachers. We are all figuring out how to do this. It's not easy for anyone. So give yourself grace. We are all struggling, all trying to adapt. If anyone says, oh, I know exactly how to do this, it's going perfectly, they're lying to you. Or they're trying to sell you something. Okay. So, the thing I added last week is don't go overboard. Find ways, not to, I don't mean find ways to cut corners. Find ways to simplify so that you are not overworking and doing too much, because it is very easy to do that, to stay up until 9 p.m. working on that Google Slides or whatever, slide deck, whatever they call that, and to get stressed about it and to not... That's not going to help you. It's not going to help your students. You need to find ways to maybe just chill. I can't believe I'm saying this. Anyway, try not to go overboard. So in the spirit of trying not to go overboard, the whole sort of thought behind the video tonight is I wanted to find ways to take lessons that I have already taught in previous years and adapt them for COVID-19, because if I was like, well, I got to create everything from scratch, then that's going to be it's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to drive me crazy and probably burn me out, right? And also, probably a lot of those lessons are going to fail, because if I'm doing everything from scratch, I mean, you remember your first year teaching. If you're doing everything from scratch, then like you don't know the pacing, you don't know the add-ins, you don't know the questions they're going to ask, and that's okay. But like in this world, this is my 10th year. Like I want to take the lessons that I already know and adapt them. So that's my plan. Okay, so what did I do? I pulled out my lesson plan book from last year, which I need to update because I have to put my school name on there. And I pulled out my lessons and I thought, how can I adapt them? Especially because I was like, oh my gosh, kindergarten. So just a quick reminder, my school, we're doing a hybrid opening when we open up. And that means that on any given day, on one of the days, I'll be doing synchronous lessons, like a Zoom classroom with a whole room of first graders or a whole room of third graders or whatever. I'll be doing that lesson synchronous. On other days, I will have this is how our district did it. I will have half of the class in person, and I'll be teaching them in their classroom, in their homeroom. Really excited about that. I already figured out the way to drive the homeroom teacher out so they're not lurking during the lesson. I actually don't care. They can say it's fine. But if you want to drive them out, just bring your auto harp with you, and that'll get them right out of there. Anyway, so on some days I'll have half the class in person in their homeroom, or I'm also allowed to go outside because we have room for that. Some districts are doing it that while you're teaching half the class, the other half of the class is watching digitally, like they're streaming. My district is not doing that. The way we're doing it is the kids who are not in person on those in-person days will be completing some sort of a lesson outside the class, asynchronous, which means not live. So like I could leave a pre-recorded video on our learning management system, or I could use an app-based lesson, or I could do like a choice board or whatever that's posted for them to do during their music time through their non-in-person days, if that makes sense. So when I'm going through my lessons, I'm thinking these 3 questions. And these are the questions that are helping to sort of make me reorient and rethink. First, what can you pull? What is something that I can teach as is from my lessons? There are not as many of those things, but there are some. There are some things. What can I pull and just use as is? Then, what can I shelve for later? So for me, that's thinking, what can I wait and teach later on in the year when maybe things are back to normal, hopefully, crossing our fingers and stuff. What can I do and what can I shelve for later? Or for me, that also, I'm also trying to take advantage of those days when we are not in person in the classroom. So if there's a song or if there's a lesson with more movement or something that I just know I won't be able to do in person in the classroom, I'm going to shelf that and I'm going to come back to it on the digital day. So that then if there's a song where they're going to sing along, maybe we do that on our Zoom class day and I'm singing, playing ukulele and their microphones are all muted and they're singing along. Or maybe it's the day that I pre-record a video to put up there for them to learn at home. So what can you pull and use as is? What can you shelve? And then what can you adapt? And that's, I think, maybe the most interesting thing. Because there are a lot of things that you could do. Oh, I could do it, but I'm going to have to change one little thing. So you got to think about what can you keep as is? What can you shelve for later? And what can you adapt? What can you pull and change maybe a little bit? Add something else, take something out so that you can get the gist of the lesson, but maybe just a little different. So with those 3 questions in mind, I went to my kindergarten lessons. And usually I start the year in kindergarten with, they're coming to music room for the first time. All those first lessons are so dramatic because they're like being ripped away from their kindergarten teacher who they've known for like all of 4 hours. But that's like the only face that they know in the building. And like some are crying and like they all have their name tags on. And it's a traumatic first day, right? Okay, so what I usually do is we stay in line in our like hallway line. We follow the line through the classroom and circle around a little bit, and then I have a train song, choo choo train, and I sing, and they follow me like a train, and I sing it about 12 times. And there's a woo woo, and it's so much fun, and they love it. But guess what? I can't do that. Because number 1, they're not coming to my room. I'm going to their room. And number 2, we can't be in a line like that. We got to have space between us. And so the whole train metaphor is lost, right? And also I can't be woo woo with the whistle because I don't, So anyway, all these things that make that lesson sort of feel impossible. And then I would take the Choo Choo Train song, and then I would add in, I'd transition to learn engine number 9, and there's some little actions we can do, and it's so much fun that we do. And then I have, something else. But there's a lot of like train stuff on the first day, and that train song, ooh, I milk that song until about October, because we do it in all different ways. Do trains all around the room and all, it's so much fun. So what can I do to pull that and use it in a different way? So my thought is the Choo Choo Train song, I can do that if we're doing our virtual day. I could teach it in our Zoom lesson, and instead of doing, we're all in one long line, I could say, you get to be the engine of the train. How exciting is that? And you're going to take your hands and you're going to make them into like wheels on the side of you. And while I sing, you get to move your hands to the wheels. But when I stop, you've got to stop. So the song goes, choo choo train, copy me and do the same. Choo choo train, woo, woo, stop. Right, so the kids, if they're doing that virtually, they can do the actions, right? They'll hear me repeat it a bunch of times. They can add in the woo woo for sure, and they can also add in the stop. And so then what I'm thinking is we could do that a couple times. They sort of get the idea. Maybe they could sing along at home with their microphones muted so it's not back and forth, right? And then I would think this time like, how could I change that and adapt that? Well, the words say, copy me and do the same. So guess what, students? This time, I'm going to do different actions. I'm not going to do the train anymore. I'm going to do something else. And whatever I do, you need to copy me and do the same. Are you ready? Here we go. Choo choo train, copy me and do the same. Choo choo train, woo, woo, stop. And I'll probably back up and just really mimic it like an airplane. And then ask, oh, that wasn't a train. What do you think that maybe was? And if you think you can, raise your hand and unmute or whatever. And I don't know how that's going to work yet. But we'll figure that out. Okay, what else could I do for the movement? I could do choo choo train, copy me and do the same. Choo choo train, woo, woo, stop. That is not locomotive or plane or any sort of traveling thing related, but it's movement, right? And so I could just have them match me. I could just do, I could do any sort of movement. I could do choo choo train. And this is where it might be fun to play with the fact that we're all on digital devices. You could do choo choo train, copy me and do the same. Choo choo train, woo, woo, stop. So while we're doing all of that, they could still mimic the song, they could do all of that, and it's just a way to adapt that song. And then maybe someday when we're back in person, we could do the train around the room. I don't know, but maybe. Okay, so then I was thinking about engine number 9. That's something that I don't really have to change because we're speaking it. We could do the actions. Engine number 9. Going down Chicago line. See it sparkle, see it shine. Engine number 9. But you got to have actions, right? And so the way I teach this is I show them the actions along the way. They learn them, and then I somehow forget how to do the actions, and I do them wrong, and they have to correct me. So it's our fun little game. Anyway, so the real actions go engine number 9, going down Chicago line. See it sparkle, see it shine. Engine number 9. Right? Okay, so that's what I would do in person in a normal year, right? So, but then, engine number 2. Wait, that's not the right, is that right? So if you do it a couple times, then you can change a couple things and have the kids correct you, and they think that's hilarious. So you could do that in person. It's just a spoken poem. You could change the things, you can do actions, that's no problem. What I usually add with engine number 9 is I add in a little B section where I go choo, 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 choo. I'm not sure I'm very comfortable with us all making the choo, choo, because that's you're putting out grossness with that. So maybe we would learn the poem as is, and then on a virtual day I would add in a B section. Or if we're outside, maybe I'd add in a B section. I just imagine spit getting in the mask. That's feels gross. But so on the B on a virtual day, maybe we'd add in the B section, and then my thought was I could do see it sparkle, see it shine, engine number 9. Here we go. And have the kids do like the steady beat with me, right? And then maybe we would do like varying speeds. So maybe we could do see it sparkle, see it shine, engine number 9. Here we go. And we could play around with speed. Or maybe we speed up, or maybe we slow down, or whatever. But that's like a little B section you could add in, and on a virtual day that might be really fun to do. That would also be a poem that you could easily pre-record and have kids just access and do on their own. Or you could do it, synchronous through like the Zoom or the Teams or whatever. But that's a way that you could maybe adapt that. Okay, also I found, so as I was like, oh, what else can I use? What else? I was like rummaging around through my books, and I found this book called Freight Train. It's from Facebook. I'm gonna see if I can do that thing where I flip the camera. Yeah, okay, that's the thing that I can only do on Facebook. I am so sorry, Instagram. It's gonna be backwards. Okay, so this book, Freight Train by Donald Cruz. Let me just share it with you, and then I'll tell you what I might want to do. Okay, and also, you will see very soon why I like and also dislike this book. Okay. A train runs across this track. Red caboose at the back. Orange tank car next. Yellow hopper car. And the first time I read it, this is when I was like, hold on. Because when you read the first 2 lines, a train runs across this track. Red caboose at the back. I'm like, sweet, this book's gonna rhyme. I'm all here for it. And then it doesn't rhyme. So, like, sorry, don't get your hopes up. She don't rhyme. Okay, let me just start it. So, a train runs across this track. You have to think more like I'm dramatic reading rather than like we're rhyming. Okay, a train runs across this track. Red caboose at the back. Orange tank car next. Yellow hopper car. Green cattle car. Blue gondola car. Purple box car. A black tender and a black steam engine. Freight train. Here's the whole thing. Moving. Going through tunnels. Going by cities. Crossing trestles. Moving in darkness. Moving in daylight. Going, gone. Now this is a fun book for a couple reasons. I think your kindergarten teachers are going to like you for using this because you can review colors, which they're probably reviewing in their class. You could go through and talk about a couple different things. You could say the caboose is the car that's at the back of the train. It's always the one that's the last one. Some trains have a caboose and some don't, but it's usually red and it's usually here at the back. That's why some teachers do, when they talk about their lines, usually the kid who's at the end of the line is the caboose. That's why that's there. Oh, and this one we call it a tank car because there's something liquid in here. It's like a tank. It holds things. It looks like a sort of a water bottle here, doesn't it? But that's what it is because it's a car that holds some sort of liquid. Water, oil, maybe some sort of chemical. Who knows? The hopper. Ooh, I love hoppers. Hoppers are cars that have a special door at the very bottom. That's what makes it a hopper car. When it opens up, all the things that are in the top flow out the bottom. So like if you had like a pit down here you wanted to fill up, or you had like an auger or something, you could open the hopper and let it all out. You don't have to dig out from the top. Hopper cars are easy to clean out that way. Oh, a green cattle car. Why do you think it's called a cattle car? You're talking about, yeah, they move cattle in there. Cows. Blue gondola car. Don't have a cool thing for this other than it's blue. It looks like a hopper, but it doesn't have a door on the bottom, so it's not a hopper. Okay, purple box car. Ooh, why do you think it's a box car? What do you think it's called a box car? It's a box. The tender, that's what holds the coal that you burn to make the steam engine work. I especially like this because it shows an old school engine. And so then when we do engine number 9, guess what? They've got a visual. Okay, so what can you do with, wait, sorry. Love the rainbow, that's fun. I love the differentiating going through tunnels. I love this because we can talk about how an illustrator sometimes uses lines like this and blur like this to show that something is moving, because an illustrator just draws a picture. You can't actually make a picture move unless it's like a cartoon, but the illustrator can use these lines to show you it's moving fast. There, it's still moving fast. Oh my. It's going fast by the city. And you can see the city in the background. Love this one because it uses the word trestle. That's not as, well, that's not a sight word in kindergarten is all I'm going to say. So you could talk about a trestle as like a bridge for a train. Right? Okay. Going, and then gone. Can't even see it. You can only see the steam coming from it. So this is a fun book, and I was excited about it, but I was like, I don't know how I'm going to integrate it. So then I thought, I know how I'm going to use this in 2nd grade, so we'll come back to that. But I thought, you could talk about different ways trains can move, and if I'm doing my lesson outside, I could make this a movement game. And I could have us, either take our hands and do a steady beat on our knees. So we could make it a steady beat thing, or we could do, we're going to do a fast steady beat as we're moving like the train going fast. We could do like, you could stand up and actually move and not even worry about the steady beat thing, but just have them run in place fast or run in place slow or move very slow. Or how would you look if you're going through the tunnel? It might be dark. If you're going by the city, how would that change your movement? This is like also, you could easily like, we're riding on a freight train. We're riding on a freight train. It's gonna be, I don't know. It's gonna be a long trip. So like going on a bear hunt, only we're riding on a freight train. You could easily make this into that later in the semester if you wanted. But I just love the book, and I think that it's a super fun book. I mean, Donald Cruz, bad job for not rhyming. I mean, he did get a Caldecott, I guess, for this, so like, he's pretty good. But I don't like that the first part doesn't rhyme. Anyway, super fun book. I don't know how I'm going to use it in 2nd grade. I'll come back to that in just a second. I also wanted to show you a couple other things. Let me do another quick book while I've got the cameras like this, and then I'm going to flip them around and show you an app that your kids can use on their iPads if you have iPads. Okay. That's train related. I'll get back to the train. As I was thinking about trains and movement and boats and planes and whatever that I might integrate into the lesson, I remembered this book I have called Dan the Taxi Man. And this is a super fun book that I got from my friend Karen. It's an Usborne book, I think, which is like a publishing thing. So I know some people have like Usborne parties, like Pampered Chef parties. So I found it listed on Amazon, but it was pretty expensive. So maybe you can find it from an Usborne dealer. I don't know. Anyway, but it's a fun book. But I listed it on the links page, and I have it the listing to it on Amazon, so you can go and pull the ISBN and like get it in your library or find it on a discount book website or request it. But anyway, Dan the Taxi Man. This is written by Eric Ode, illustrated by Kent Culotta. And any book with a dog is a good book, right? So like we already know we're on a good track. Here's Dan, beep beep, the taxi man, going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan, beep beep, the taxi man. Kids will very, very, very quickly realize that Anytime you got with Dan, they get to do the beep beep. So like this is a winner. I'm already thinking that like this is one I would probably read virtually because there are some things that I'm going to want them to do that probably I would not want them to do in person because like beep beep, you know, like the singing or the moving or whatever might make, I don't know. I'm still just real nervous about not singing or making like real loud sounds in class, so this is one I'd probably do virtually. I'm trying to stick in class to mostly just poems or just speaking or whatever, just in case. Because I don't know what it's going to be like yet, so I'm not sure how comfortable I'll be with that. Anyway, the kids will realize real quick they get a beep along, so that's why I would maybe make this an at-home book. Stop! Here comes Maureen with her tambourine. Shake a shake, crash. Shake a shake, crash. And here's Dan, beep beep, the taxi man, going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan, beep beep, the taxi man. Okay, that does get a little old, a little quick. But anyway, so this one I might say like, oh, Maureen with her tambourine. Hold on, I think I've got, you know, and I might pull out my tambourine and be like, oh, she goes shake a shake, crash. So she shakes and she hits it. Oh, that's so exciting. How fun is that? Stop! Here comes Tyrone with his saxophone. Squeebity-dee, squeebity-doo. Here's Maureen with her tambourine. Shake a shake, crash, shake a shake, crash. And here's Dan, beep beep, the taxi man, going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan, beep beep, the taxi man. So it's a cumulative book. Every page it adds someone else new, right? Okay, so there's Star with her electric guitar, right? There's and they go to the thing. Let's see, Claire with her rattly snare. Way to work in snare drum. Claire with her snare. Okay, let's see who else I have. Ace with his upright bass. Okay, so we're bringing in a lot of really fun instruments. Okay, and then they get to the rockin' joint. Dan gives a shout, everybody out! Let's go, let's go! Up on the stage. What a place, what a scene! There's Claire and Ace, and there's Maureen. There's Star and Tyrone, but something's wrong. There's something missing. Stop the song! Star looks around. I know what we need. I know what's missing. Yes, indeed. Can you figure out what's missing? Beep, beep. That's my good. It's Dan! Beep, beep, the taxi man. It's Dan! Beep, beep, the taxi man. So wait, what is Dan in the band? What does Dan do? Right. Oh, Dan's the singer. Oh my gosh, Dan's the singer. We need Dan. Also, he's the driver, so we definitely need Dan. But this one is a super fun one. You could talk about it if you talk about cumulative, where you add in. You could easily make a lesson where you have, like one group of kids be like the shake a shake crash, shake a shake crash. Squeebity dee, squeebity doo, squeebity. And you could have little sections of the class do the different things, right? That'd be fun to do if you were in person in a normal classroom and it were not COVID. I don't know if you would maybe want to do that unless you do it outside or you do something else, because it would get a little bit vocal and they would be making sounds like the electric guitar goes wee wassle wah, wee wassle wah. There's a rat-a-tat-tat for the drum. Let's see. What does the bass do? Boom, boo, ba, boom, 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 ba, boom. Yeah, so you might want to maybe do that at home, but you can adapt that for sure, and then you can have this next year when you're doing an in-class thing. It's so much fun. I would maybe do it with kindergarten, maybe with first grade, maybe both. Hey, band, we call that banded standards. They can apply to more than one grade. Lessons can apply to more than one grade. Happy COVID. Okay, but it's a super fun book, and it fits that theme of like transportation and movement, and also there are a lot of other fun things you could tie in. It's great for introducing all these different instruments. It does that thing that reading teachers love, where the kids are expecting a word to show up on this page. Like they're always ready for the stop, and they're ready for the beep beep. So reading teachers like kids expecting those things coming up and then them showing up in the text. Okay, so now I gotta switch back around because I wanted to show you an app. All my kids have iPads. I know we're very, very lucky for this to be a thing. And there's a cool iPad app. I was like thinking, like, how in the world am I going to have like kinder and first grade on these apps? Like, what are we going to do that they can like do and not be like reading or, you know, something. Anyway, there's an app. It's free. I'm going to try and flip this back around. Bear with me for just a second. And okay. I never know if the showing you my iPad is going to work, if it's just going to be weird. Okay, so I'm going to shut off my little ring light. Hold on. Oh, ghost. Okay, now let me see if I can pull on my iPad. Okay, this is a fun app. Let me make sure you can actually see this. Sorry, Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to get better. Okay, super fun app. This is called Tune Train. There was a time where it was not functional on newer iPads or the iPhone or iOS 11, but they've updated it, so it now works, I believe, on newer iPads. Did I mention it's free? It's free. Okay, so it's called Tune Train. So let me show you what you can do. Choose just any location, right? So here's our train, and what you have to do is you have to choose what houses the train visits. So you can drag it if you want, or you can do what I did, the little tappy tappy. Okay, so I made my whole path, right? And then I hit play. So that's cool. They can see the path of the train. They can hear how the sounds go up and down, and you can follow it very easy. So this is really cool for melodic contour. They don't have to know solfege. They don't have to read on the staff, but it sort of preloads with like the lines at the back. It sort of preloads that idea of the staff once we eventually get there. And you can obviously see which pitches are highlighted because they're red. So if you decide, no, I don't want to do that, I want to change, I don't want that low sound, I want the high sound, you can find a really boring, like have them all do the same thing. That'd be sort of boring, but you can do whatever. So then what's really cool is it'll replay it as many times as you want. This little icon here, you can add in a backing track. So let's add in classical. Okay, that was fine. Let's not do classical. Let's do pop and see what we hear. You can do that forever. You can also then see along the top, it will add in standard notation. Well, let's do R&B. I feel like that top notation is almost just distracting, especially if you're going to use this for young K1-2. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you can clear it and start over, or you can exit. So if you go to the levels, then they're like, I chose the very first one, Baritone Beach, but if you do like Wintertime, it gets really, like it gets way longer. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I am really hoping for some sleigh bell action in this one. I have not previewed this, so I don't know what it's going to sound like. Sorry. Oh, for sure we got to get up high. Okay. Oh, lordy, this is a long one. Okay. Get me home. There we go. Okay. I don't know what this is going to sound like. I've not done this one before. Let's see. Love that jump to the tie. Oh, fun. Okay, let's hear what it sounds. That sounds suspiciously like Jingle Bells. Like it could be Jingle Bells if I chose my pitches a different way. But yeah. Oh, happy Latin Christmas, everyone. So it's just a super, super fun app. It's free, and it'd be easy for you to use along with a lesson about melodic contour or whatever. You could do it, a lesson about trains. You could do just so much with the app, and multiple grades even. So if you're like, oh, well, if I'm going to get an app, I have to be able to use it with a couple different grades. Here's one to do that with, because you can use it in different ways for different grades. Okay, Tune Train, super duper fun, and something that you can adapt however you need to. Okay, I told you I had an idea for Freight Train. So the Freight Train book would maybe be fun for kinder, but I would want to bring it back for like 2nd grade, because years and years ago I made these rhythm cards, and they're just basic rhythm reading, right? So I'd probably just start out with this like boring, like ta 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 dee ta, ta dee ta ta dee ta. We just do our reading, whatever's like a review. Okay, boring, but you can do that. And actually, probably with kiddos, I would start with like my Note Neighborhood cards, because we're going to learn the rhythms with Note Neighborhood, and so then the review cards would be this. But then like once we're ready, we like move to the big kid cards that are like they don't have the character stuff on them, so it's just right. Okay. Oh gosh, sorry Facebook. I'm going to try and flip you around so you can see this like normal again. Okay. Sorry, Instagram. It's just backwards. Can't help it. All right, so years ago when I made these, I thought, I'm going to color code, and the ones that are just quarter note and eighth note, I'll put backing of blue on them. And then when I add in my quarter rest, I'm going to add in green. Okay. And then once I get to half note, I'm going to add in purple. Okay, so what I would do is I would read Freight Train. We'd go through like this, and then I would say, ooh, you know what? I love this page. It's got green, blue, and purple in a row. Well, that is fun. Green, blue, purple. So then on the board, green, and then I would do it like a train, but because I don't have like my board here, I can't really do it. So I'm going to stack it green, blue, purple. Right? Oh, and then we'd have to read all the way through. Green, blue, purple. And then I would have a student come up and switch out. Choose any green, choose any blue, choose any purple, and we'll do whatever order you want. Green, blue, purple. Now, if you want to get really fancy, on the back of the cards, you can stick a magnet. At the end of every not school year, at the end of every calendar year, I go to my friends who work at banks and stuff, and I say, hey, do you have any of these like calendar magnet things that they hand out? This one is from 2016. Okay, so I have a cache of these. But you take these, which are free, which people give away for free, and you cut them up and you stick them on the back. And then these, flop up onto whiteboards, and they're magically magnets up there. So I would do that, and we could use the color, and then we could say, green, blue, purple. Boring. Let's do purple, green, blue. Let's do blue, blue, green. Or maybe one kid chooses the colors and then another kid chooses the cards. Or maybe the kid just chooses the colors and I just randomly pull the cards if I don't want kids touching the cards or whatever. So there are some fun things you can do with that, and kids feel like, ooh, look at all these choices I'm getting with the colors and the choosing, but really they're reviewing the notes and the rhythms that you want them to, but they feel like they have this like immense responsibility of choosing the correct card, but actually you have pre-chosen the cards for them. They're not going to end up with like a 16th note or whatever. You've chosen that for them. And if you have them all with these like free magnets on the back, then bam, they will all move up on your whiteboard and they'll slide around really easy and they'll be fun to do. I see Holly say magnetic tape, but that costs. Magnets are free. But yeah, magnetic tape is good, because then you have to with this, you have to get double stick tape or something to stick to the back of your cards. Okay, so that's something that I would take maybe the book as like the impetus, as the idea of the lesson, and then whoosh, we're into a rhythm lesson. And then maybe they do Tune Train as their at-home lesson or something. So this all feels like it's themed together, even though we're using lots of different parts. Okay, let's see. Blue, green, purple. Yes, good. Freight Train. Yep, okay. Ooh, beep, beep. Ooh, yeah, hold on. Okay, another one that you can use if you want to talk about this idea of form and rearranging and changing is this fun book called Beep Beep Vroom Vroom. And this one is by Stuart Murphy, illustrated by Chris Demarest. I don't know how I feel about the moral of this book, but the book is really good for leading into a lesson about form. So let me quick read it to you. And honestly, this I think was maybe like a leveled book reader, or like it says like, ooh, math start. So it was like a classroom discard. So you could probably get this one for free, either like a used book website or maybe from one of your homeroom teachers, because they might have it. But obviously, like if I got it as a discard, it was published in 2000. Maybe they're not using it anymore, because you know that if this came with a math series, that math series is like gonzo by now, right? If it was published in 2000. Okay, so you can maybe find this one really cheap or free. All right, Beat Beat Vroom Vroom by Stuart J. Murphy. Beep beep vroom vroom. Beep beep honk the yellow cars. Vroom vroom zoomed the red cars. Crash crash banged the blue cars. Cars are fun, said Kevin, for big kids to play with. I like cars, said Molly. No, you're too little to play with my cars, said Kevin. What a turd. Kevin, called Mom. It's your turn to set the table. Ah, Mom, grumbled Kevin. He carefully lined up all his cars on his shelf. When I come back, Kevin told Molly, I want to see my cars just the way I left them. I will reiterate, Kevin is a turd. I wouldn't say that to kids, but be honest, he is. He won't let his little sister play. I gotta be in the perfect order. Who is this kid? Okay. Molly waited until Kevin went downstairs, and then... Vroom, vroom, zoomed the red cars. Beep, beep, honked the yellow cars. Crash, crash, banged the blue cars. Dad heard lots of vrooming, crashing, and beeping. Molly, Dad said, you know you shouldn't play with Kevin's cars unless you asked. Let's put them right back where you found them. Kevin always lines his cars up in a special way. Now, students, did Molly and Dad put them back in the correct order? The order that Kevin chose? Let's see. Red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue. Uh-oh. Blue, blue, yellow, yellow, red, red, blue, blue, yellow, yellow, red, red. Oh, no, that's not the right order. Molly waited until Dad went downstairs, and then... Crash, crash went the blue cars. Beep, beep, honked the yellow cars. Vroom, vroom, zoomed the red cars. This time, Mom heard all the crashing, beeping, and vrooming. Oh, Molly, Mom said, you made a big mess of Kevin's cars. Can you help me put them back the way he lines them up? Red, red, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red, red, yellow, blue, blue, yellow. That's a fun combination, but I don't think that's the way that Kevin did it. I mean, who cares how he did it, but like that's the right way. Molly waited until Mom went downstairs, and then beep, beep, honked the yellow cars. Vroom, vroom, zoomed the red cars. Crash, crash, banged the blue cars. Now, Digger heard the beeping, vrooming, and crashing. Woof! Digger barked. Woof, woof! Digger gave Molly lots of kisses, and he wagged his tail a little too much. Molly, called Kevin from the kitchen, you better not be playing with my cars. I'm coming upstairs to see. Molly put the cars back on the shelf as fast as she could. She could hear Kevin coming closer and closer. Molly looked at the cars. They didn't look quite right. She lined them up again quickly. Yellow, blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow. When Kevin walked in the door, he found his cars just the way he left them. Oh, she rearranged them back to normal. Red, yellow, blue, or red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow. Ah. Vroom, vroom, zoomed the red cars. Beep, beep, honked the yellow cars. Crash, crash, banged the blue cars. Maybe someday you'll be old enough to play with cars too, Molly, said Kevin. Brat. Surprise, Molly, said Mom. She was standing in the doorway. We were going to wait until your birthday to give you these, but we think you're old enough to have them now. Molly smiled at the shiny new cars. Then, beep, beep, honked the green cars. Vroom, vroom, zoomed the purple cars. crash. Okay, and then it has this like handy thing about for adults and kids. And let me just tell you, when, when you go through, it is all about the math concepts. It is not about Kevin not sharing with his friends or with his sister. And it's not about his parents reinforcing that poor Molly should not be playing with Kevin's cars. I think there's another lesson here. Math works. But okay, so what I add at the end of the cars, at the end of the book, is beep beep, honk the green cars, vroom vroom, zoom the purple cars, crash went the green, or crash went the whatever red cars. Kevin said, Molly, those look like fun cars. And Molly said, maybe someday you'll be old enough to play with these cars. Like, I was like, flip that back on Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, you were a brat before. You don't get to play with Molly's cars if she don't get to play with you. Anyway, so you can take this moral lesson however you want. But what can you do with this? Again, if you have where did I put them? If you have your rhythm cards, separated out by colors, and I even have, so the older, more advanced cards are oranges and yellows and whatever, blacks I think are the other ones that I have somewhere. But if you have those cards, you can have them arranged. You can say, okay, I need a blue, yellow, green arrangement, and so you rate it, put them in a line, then have kids read them. Maybe they clap them, maybe they whatever. Okay, now we're gonna do green, purple, red. Or now we're going to do whatever you want. You can have them rearranged. You could even have them do a pattern where it's like blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow, green. And they have to read the whole thing. And then, change out your blues. Put in different blues, but keep it blue, yellow, green. Oh, okay. So you can have kids do that. That's super fun. Another thing you could do. Okay, I'm going to start with this. So I have this resource called, in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, I think it's called Music Dots. Anyway, so here I am with my home. Oh, this light's not going to work so well. I'm so sorry. I'm still figuring out how to use this ring light. I'm not great at it. Maybe people who've been teaching virtually already can show me how to do this. Okay, so in this Music Dots resource, I have I have a version of this that if you're doing this at home, you could maybe use like a document camera view where you just shoot down at your table and show kids this in a smaller version. If you're doing it in class, you might draw these lines on their whiteboard. And then in the resource, I have little pictures for snap and for clap and for pat and also for stomp, but I'm not going to use stomp today. Okay, so what I would do is we're going to turn this into a way to notate. So I'm going to start with clap. So anytime I put something on the clap line, that means clapping. So let me see, I've also got these are Post-its, these are star Post-its, these are not fancy. And I just laminated them, put magnets on the back. Okay, this is going to be tricky because this is not a standard size whiteboard, this is a tiny little whiteboard. Okay, so I would show kids the stars. I don't even know if you can see this, sorry. And we would go clap, 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 clap. Right, because it's 4 separate. Cool, right? Okay, then what if I did 2 star? This is really tricky on this tiny little board. Obviously, this would be spaced out much more for students. So if you had star, 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 then you could do clap, 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 clap. You can rearrange, redo however you want. When you're ready, add in another level. Pat, 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 clap, pat, 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 clap, pat, pat, clap. When you're ready, add in another level. Probably you're going to do all on that one level before you move to different locations. Snap, 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 snap. This is really tricky because it's this tiny little board, right? But you sort of, I'm hoping, get the idea. Snap, clap, snap, snap, clap. Ooh, that would be tricky. This is a super advanced. Snap, clap, pat, pat, clap, right? So this you could do on a whiteboard. I also have in the set, I have just like one page, like an 8.5 by 11, where it's just the lines, right? So if you have like a document camera, you could be zoomed down on that and just do it with like counters on the desk, right? And then show that on a digital projector or show it on the virtual lesson. right? Also, I did, where did I put it? Here it is. I did a version where I sort of just wrote out, right? And I did it with standard notation. And so we would do pat, pat, snap, snap, snap. Probably the first time, I would not do this one first. Hold on. Let me try with this one. And the first time we just read the rhythms. Ta, 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 dee, ta. Great. And it goes snap, snap, clap, clap, clap. Great, let's do it with our body percussion. Sorry, I can't do it while holding it and right, but you could put that there. And you go, oh, that was so good. Remember that one. Snap, snap, clap, clap, clap. It's ta, 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 dee, ta. Oh, sorry. Dropped out. Whoops. Sorry. Anyway, let's try it one more time, right? Okay. So it's ta, ta, ta. Do exactly what it says right here. Ready, go. Wait, what? I think it's supposed to be snap, snap, clap, clap, clap. Look very closely. We just did snap, snap, clap, clap, clap. Look very closely. Here we go. No, it's supposed to be clap, clap, clap. How did that get there? It was clap, clap, clap before. Hold on. I must have done the wrong thing. Okay, here it is. Here's the original. Sorry. Okay. Because it's ta, 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 dee, ta. Okay, ready? Try it. Here you go. Snap. What? No. It's supposed to be snap, snap, clap, 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 right? Isn't that what it says? Snap. Oh, no. So you can do this thing where it's the same rhythm, just on different levels, right? And that's super fun. If you wanted to create your own, you could do that. You could move things around, keep the same rhythm, and move them in different places. That's just a super fun thing to do. And then you could branch out to do, other rhythms that are not that exact same rhythm, right? And that's just something that's easy to play around with and mess around with. And I love that because the idea of the book is you take these 3 different cars, red, yellow, blue, and you can arrange them in different patterns and different orders, right? And this is the same thing, sort of, where you're taking the same rhythms and just moving them to different lines, to different body percussion levels, right? Or you could take the levels that are here and just rearrange the rhythms or whatever. It's just teaching kids that they can take these elements and move them around in different ways and still be successful. This is teaching them to look for possibilities and look for patterns and look for opportunities so that then they can go later and can compose and can improvise because they already have in their head and their body like what their options are. And so this is just rearranging and playing and having fun. I think you could do this as a combo of maybe in person. Probably I would want to do it in person first, and then you could put it into a digital game for them where maybe you send home one of these as a worksheet or something, and then you let them rearrange in different things. You could have them record themselves. So my kids have iPads, so I might have them record the one that they've created, them patting, clapping, snapping, and then send it to me as a video. I think that'd be super fun to do. So in the resource that it's called Music Dots on my TPT store, it has the 3-line staff and it has the body percussion stuff. It also has solfege dots. It has hold on, I got it here. Let me see. It's got all sorts of stuff. I was gonna pull it up and okay. So yeah, so you can use the solfege part. Sorry, this is not very good because of the light. You can do solfege on the 3-line staff. I'm going to shut this off so you can actually see it. Ooh. Okay. You can do, here's the body percussion on the staff. I put down painter's tape when I did that so the lines wouldn't erase as I moved them. And then it goes through and it has solfege, dots in different sizes, so you can print them out and use them however you want. You can print out a whole page of them if you have somebody who's going to laminate and cut those out for you. Then you have the solfege hands, a couple different skin tones, so you can vary those and use those with all different skin tones. Solfege that's boom whacker colors. Let me see if I can get to the body percussion here. Oh, 121 pages. There are a lot of options in this. Don't print them all. Just print the ones that you want. Oh, and then the EGBDF, so you can put like lines on the staff. Okay, and then we get to our body percussion. You can use in a couple different sizes, different options and things. And at the very end, there's snaps, there's pats, there should be stomps. And at the very end, you should get a 5-line staff and a 3-line staff. So you can do this exact sort of thing with your own kiddos. And that's the I call it music dots, but I call it that because there's solfege and there's lines of this treble clef staff, and there's body percussion, and there's all that stuff. It's all sort of lots of different resources all in one place. Okay, there are a couple more things that I am not going to get to today. Maybe next week. How nice. There's more for next week. But they're on the links page. I have links to the books that I've talked about, the resources I've talked about, and then there are a couple books that are great for movement that I did not have a chance to talk about today. One thing I wanted to really make sure, I did an Instagram story yesterday where I talked about this fun thing. You clamp it to your desk, and then basically you put your phone here, and it turns your, oh, this is so hard to see because I can't zoom out, but it turns your phone basically into a document camera. So here's your phone, it can look straight down at your desk. I use this when I'm recording videos where I want them to see what I'm manipulating on the desk. You could, there is a version I think that comes with an iPad, but you could do your phone if you have the capability to AirPlay to your projector. You could do that if you're in person. You could just record and put it on your digital lessons. But this is like the sturdiest one I've found. There are some that come with like it looks like a snake neck, but I hate those because your phone is always moving around. This is like the most stable, like it stays in one place. If you were to buy yourself like a legit document camera, it's like $180, even for the cheapo ones. Like they are not inexpensive. So I am going to use my iPhone, which has an amazing camera, and I'm just going to hook it onto this thing and make that work. So this is linked on that links page as well. But I would use this if I'm doing that body percussion lesson and I wanted to just display it up on the smart board. I would maybe use this if I'm at home, or if I'm at school and I want to go whatever and don't have access to a document camera. This is sort of a hack way to do that. Okay, I didn't get to everything that I planned to today, but that's okay. Next week. There's next week. I hope I'll see you next Monday for another Musical Mondays video. But if you have any questions in between now and then, come back here, leave it in the chat. Go to that Facebook group, Every Moment Matters Music Education Community. Leave your questions there, or send me a DM, or send me an email. My email is makemomentsmatter@gmail.com. But there are lots of ways to process through and use these lessons. I just want to go back and tell you the thing that I said at the beginning of this video. I'm going back and I am pulling out, honestly, I am not joking about this. I'm pulling out my old lesson plan book and I'm asking myself, what can I use? What can I pull and use as is? What can I shelve for later and pull out at another time or in another part? If it's not in person, maybe I do the digital version. I pull that to the digital. And what can you adapt? Those are the questions I'm asking because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. If I'm reinventing and redoing all brand new lessons for all my grades, I'm going to go crazy, I'm going to burn out, and I'm going to hate my life. And so I'm going to go back to my lessons, which I know have worked for me in the past, or maybe not. Maybe I need to adapt them. But I'm going to go to the things that I've already pulled, I know I already have resources for, I know are already good. I'm going to say, what can I pull as is? What can I shelf for later? And what can I adapt? Because that's going to help you not go crazy trying to make all new lessons in a pandemic. Okay. All right, well, thanks so much, everyone, for coming and spending your time with me tonight. Like I said, if you have questions, there are lots of ways to connect with me or connect with our bigger music ed community. And I hope I'll see you next Monday night for more Musical Monday videos. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a great night.